and here comes another good-looking heavyweight prospect, Jeremy Williams. He is 7-0, and he's knocking people out with regularity. Al has a look at young Jeremy Williams.
Jeremy Williams is racing through his heavyweight opponents like a man in a big hurry, and I guess he is. He let Hassan Shabazz stick around for the better part of one round. David Payne was next on the hit parade, and he saw evidence of Williams' impatience as a pro. Jeremy jumped on him early as well. Using the aggressive style that is his trademark as a pro, he ended this one in less than one. This 20-year-old former amateur champion didn't get to compete in the Olympics. Couldn't get the gold, but he believes he's on a fast track to pro riches, and Sinclair Babb was just another obstacle. And Williams removed him. But some obstacles are bigger, like Robert Smith. At something over 300 pounds, he didn't look stylish, but he showed some good skills and an ability to absorb what Williams threw. It resulted in a 6-round split decision win for Williams, but not the kind of performance that he really wanted. And he hopes that tonight, 200-pound Marion Wilson is just a little bit more manageable, and he hopes it'll show in the results.
Set for Jeremy Williams taking on Marion Wilson. Let's get the official introductions from ring announcer Michael Buffer.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from Harrah's, Atlantic City, we stay in the heavyweight division. This bout scheduled for 8 rounds. The referee for this contest is Benji Estevez. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with white trim, he weighs in at an even 204 pounds. From Washington, D.C., he brings a professional record of 6-5-2, 3 KOs. Introducing Marion Jackhammer Wilson. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the emerald green trunks with red and gold trim, he weighs an even 217 pounds. From Long Beach, California, he fights for the Custom Auto Gym in Catskill, New York. Undefeated with a record of 7-0, 6 KOs, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Williams.
My commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Shake gloves. Good luck to both of you.
30-year-old Marion Wilson, born in South Carolina, living in Washington, D.C. for the last 17 years, been boxing for 10 years, 3 years as a pro. Jeremy Williams, 20 years old, as you heard, from Long Beach, California, now fighting out of Catskill, New York. Spent some time shoveling snow while the rest of the family was in the sunshine.
Yeah, that's new to him, and he shoveled snow from 10 to 4 in the afternoon. He is going to come out here like he always comes out, which is very aggressive. But against a veteran like Marion Wilson, who's used to going the distance with good fighters like Biggs and Botha, it might be tough for him.
Wilson was way south of the border with a left hook. But Williams didn't really seem to take note and just follows up. Now, this is a big switch for Jeremy Williams. You saw him fight Robert Smith 2 fights back on February 21st, and Robert Smith weighed about 340 pounds. Now he's taking on Marion Wilson, who's a lot less than that.
And Wilson comes in at about 200, and really he's always fought right around 196 to 200, and he's really more of a cruiserweight type. Because typically I asked him, well, why don't you fight a cruiserweight? And he said, that's a good question. Nobody knows why they don't fight. I don't know why Jeremy Williams is fighting as a cruiserweight.
Williams working the body well to start this fight, Al. Really banging with both hands.
He's got a terrific left hook to the body, and he throws it very, very well. There it is. Now, what you want to do, though, when he does it from the outside too much, you want to land the counter right hand while he's doing it. Smith did that a couple of times, too.
Smith was big. It wasn't a pretty fight, but Smith gave Williams some trouble. Williams got in a left hook. Wilson pushing him back.
There's a cut on the left eye of Marion Wilson. See how that develops. Now, Wilson's not a big puncher. He only has 3 KOs among his 6 wins. But he is a guy that hangs in there, as we said. He went to distance with Biggs. Both Derek Eisman, he beat him. So he's a guy that can go the distance with you.
Says he wants to work on the inside against Jeremy Williams and bang the body. But it's Williams is putting the pretty good combinations together. Good right hand by Jeremy Williams. Williams only 20 years old. Shannon Briggs 21 years old. Some young, good-looking prospects early in their pro careers in the heavyweight division. Uppercut rocked Wilson. Wilson hurt, trying to hold on and tie up Williams.
Well, it's impressive that Williams has been able to hurt him, because we've said not other people have had a hard time putting him down and out. So, illustration, Jeremy Williams hitting with some power here.
Wilson collecting himself, but his feet wide apart as he's trying to stay up. His legs are very wobbly. Big uppercut for Jeremy Williams. Rocked Marion Wilson. Final seconds of round one.
Here's the uppercut that Jeremy Williams threw that really rocked Marion Wilson. He has got a complete arsenal, Jeremy Williams, and he's showing it here.
Round two scheduled for 8. But don't go away. Round one, punches even, percentage to Jeremy Williams, and the big punches to Jeremy Williams.
Yeah, a lot of what Marion Wilson landed, and it has to be counted, were not very strong punches.
Williams continues to come out working the left hook to the body very well, and the right also.
Wilson is not a big puncher. He pushes a lot of his punches, and that makes him really a big disadvantage.
Sorry,
no, that's okay. I was going to say when he's in against the puncher type.
Wilson again low.
A lot of holding and hitting by Wilson.
Wilson is 30 years old. Works as a construction worker in Washington, D.C., but says he trains very, very hard, does extra road work, and feels that's a factor in keeping him in excellent condition and allowing him to be competitive in these fights.
And that's part of what it is with him. That's a nice uppercut by Wilson. He's in such good shape that even though he doesn't punch with power and he's got kind of an awkward style, he can hang in there with a lot of these guys.
He lost a 10-round decision to Tyrell Biggs in his last bout in Tampa, December the 8th. Overhand right, dropped in on the top of the head of Jeremy Williams.
But that left hook that he threw after it was probably the best punch Wilson has thrown in the fight. Good hook to the body. That's the first punch he's gotten good leverage on. You know, they're calling for the jab from Jeremy Williams' corner, and he only threw 2 jabs so far in this round. And I think he threw 4 or something in the first round. It was he's not using that punch, I think, as much as Kevin Rooney would like him to.
He leads with a lot of left hooks.
Yes, which is dangerous.
Wilson came with the uppercut, got tagged with a right hand from Jeremy Williams.
They felt that Marion Wilson would be a test for Williams because you're not likely to get him out early, and even though he had him hurt, he didn't get him out.
Worked off the jab with the left hook. Good job by Williams. Wilson again trying the uppercut on the inside and walking Williams across the ring. Oh, he was high with the overhand right and very low with the left hook.
And that's about the second or third low blow he's landed. Yeah, and I think Benji Esteves will start to warn him about that.
Overhand right scoring for Wilson as he puts pressure on Jeremy Williams as we come to the bell, ending round 2. Marion Wilson was warned about the low blows by referee Ben Esteves between rounds. Said, if you throw another one, I'll take a point away. Right now, the jabs, not many for Jeremy Williams, as Al was talking about. More for Wilson, but not many landed.
You know, the style that Kevin Rooney teaches to Williams, which is pure customato, which people associate with Mike Tyson, and it's an important point to note. When Mike Tyson's performances started to dip a little below the levels that we were used to from him, it was because he didn't jab his way in. Very important for Williams to jab his way in. He's not doing it. And there's a cut, I think, on the bridge of the nose of Jeremy Williams. And I think it may be bothering him. He's never been cut before, I don't think, certainly not as a pro.
And Wilson, seeing that, becomes tenacious, putting a lot of pressure on Jeremy Williams. And a lot of blood.
It's on his ear. I think the cut might... It's hard to tell if it's on his nose or his ear. Blood smeared all over. And, of course, Wilson had a cut on his left eye.
Looks like it's on around the bridge of the nose, close to the left eye.
You know, there are two fronts on which Benji Estevez could ultimately end up taking the point away from Wilson. One would be the low blows, the other would be the holding. Marion's doing a lot of holding.
So now, concern for Jeremy Williams and the cut.
And also the head of Wilson being used in there. So he's pretty much a triple threat in this fight. But these are the little lessons that a boxer's supposed to learn. Now here's where Jeremy Williams, and I saw him as an amateur. Jeremy Williams has excellent boxing skills. He threw the jab a lot as an amateur, and this is where he could take a step back and make this, I think, an easier fight for himself, Sam, by stepping back from Marion Wilson and using the jab and some combinations.
In talking to Kevin Rooney about what needs to be done with Jeremy Williams, that's one of the things he talked about, is getting him out of those amateur techniques. Well, polishing him up.
Ironically, when he was an amateur, he was more of a classic stand-up boxer. Rooney and his management team have turned him into more of a, like I say, a Tyson-type fighter. Not that that's not skillful, it is. But they want him coming ahead and looking for knockouts and things. But he's capable of staying back in boxing. That's what he did as an amateur in the box house and the trials. And he's got those skills.
Also doing a lot of holding behind the head on the inside. Williams has been able to fight him off. Williams apparently not bothered by the cut right now.
Wilson throws so few punches with good leverage, but the one punch he does throw with good leverage is the left hook. He is giving Jeremy Williams a look at every conceivable semi-legal tactic. Some that aren't quite legal.
Williams may have a little cut on the left side of his eye as well. End of round 3. And they've got to work on the cut right away.
Come on, Nelson. Get in there. Right from the outside. Go ahead. That's nothing.
You got nothing there. That's nothing.
The headbutt, too.
That's nothing.
Close it up. It's nothing.
It's nothing. It's nothing at all. Cool off. Nothing.
Now, you gotta be smart now. Now you gotta start using the jab. You understand me? What are you looking for? Now you gotta...
From boxing to hockey, tomorrow, 2 great scores. PN.
Here's where we think the cut may have happened. Boy, that's very conceivable. Good work by the men and women in the truck by getting us that shot, and that is unquestionably where the cut came from.
Now in the corner of Marion Wilson, while we were watching Jeremy Williams, they've been working and checking out the cut on Marion Wilson. Now, if it's ruled that an accidental putt caused the cut and the fight had to be stopped, if it was less than half the rounds of the fight, it would be called a draw. After the 4th round of this scheduled 8-rounder, they go to the scorecard.
Which is a very good rule. And I think the rules here in New Jersey are the fairest by far overall. Even the rules we showed you at the beginning, from a safety standpoint, the 3 knockdown rolls, the standing 8, they're all appropriate rules in my opinion. I'm sure everyone was waiting with bated breath to find out if I like the rules. Here we go. Through round 3, you see the numbers. Williams winning by not a huge margin, but he's had the more powerful punches. Only 10 jabs, though, thrown in round 3 by Williams. There's a good jab, and what a difference it makes when Jeremy Williams jabs his way in instead of just winging with the hook.
Cutman Nelson Cuevas tried to reassure Jeremy Williams about the cut being nothing, but it's opened up again, and blood is dripping down the nose, and Estevez warning Williams for pushing.
After all the stuff that has gone on with Marion Wilson.
Winding up with a big, looping right hand.
Let me tell you something. I think that Marion Wilson is getting Williams' attention with that left hook. I'm not saying he's hurting him badly with it, but he's making him know that punch means something.
30-year-old Marion Wilson is really giving the youngster a tough time.
He's a very awkward opponent. We mentioned he just went 10 rounds with Tyrell Biggs, went 8 rounds with Franz Botha, beat Derek Eisenman, a young man that we've seen before here in ESPN, in 6 rounds.
Wilson is strong. He's in good shape, as he told us. Estevez calls time. There's some loose tape on the left glove of Marion Wilson. This is round 4, scheduled for 8. Marion Wilson gets a breather. A little slow getting the tape going there.
Maybe trying to give him, although conditioning not a problem for him. When you look at that man and look at his body, you wonder why he's not a bigger puncher, and it all has to do with technique. He pushes his punches and doesn't get leverage in it. There's Jeremy Williams.
Marion Williams back in. Wilson leads with the right hand and is low with the right hand. Marion Wilson has been low several times in this fight. I've counted 4. Where not even close. We're talking about in the belly and maybe even in the lower abdomen, maybe down toward the groin area.
Benji Estevez has his hands full in this bout. It's a tough referee. This is another round on which Marion Wilson, he might be stealing this round because Williams has just not been able to land very effectively. The awkward style of Wilson giving him a lot of trouble.
Williams not jabbing enough. Occasionally throwing it, but really not jabbing enough.
Well, he possesses a very good jab.
And the body shots, which were very effective early, are not there right now.
See, here's where Williams is trying to adapt a little by boxing a little bit more, staying on the outside, which is good if he could land the punches. Got a hard time doing it.
Marion Wilson is really roughing up Jeremy Williams. Throwing him around, hitting him behind the head, hitting him low. We come to the end of round 4.
Some of the tactics on the inside by Marion Wilson, roughing up Williams, using his head. Williams trying to protect that cut, but takes a right uppercut in the process.
This is round 5, scheduled for 8. Once again, Kevin Rooney, between rounds, telling Jeremy Williams to jab more. Now he came out with 2 and went for a left hook.
Indication. Now these are total jabs through round 4. Williams has shown 32 jabs in 4 rounds. That's not good for him. Even if he's got his aggressive style going, he should be jabbing his way in. Wilson's actually winning the battle of the jab. Now, and those are the best jabs now. These that Wilson is throwing in the fight. Excellent uppercut by Wilson.
Caught Williams moving in. You got it even, huh?
Yeah, you know, and I wouldn't denigrate a judge for having Williams ahead by a point or 2, but I just feel like it's even. What do you
won't denigrate me, huh?
I will not.
I got Williams by 1 point.
I would certainly not denigrate you. Never in a million years.
Wild left hook.
I mean, it is a close fight. Williams switches to lefty briefly and then right back to righty. Wilson is starting to do some things here offensively now, and that's the difference in the last couple of rounds. He's not looking just to survive. He was hurt early in the bout. He is doing some offensive things. He's throwing jabs, hooks, some right hands. There's
and he caught Williams with a right hand. Williams is stunned. The count is 5. He's up at 6. He is frustrated and stunned. He walked into a right hand. He is shaken. Undefeated Jeremy Williams in trouble. And here goes Marion Williams. Wilson, looking for the big bomb.
Now, if Wilson keeps his composure here, instead of doing that, he's
clubbing.
He's not used to this. I got to tell you something. Marion Wilson, this is new to Marion Wilson. He doesn't get guys in trouble like this. This is actually a new experience to him.
Jeremy Williams in serious trouble. He's cut over the left eye.
Wilson is slapping. If he throws the same kind of right hand he threw to get Williams down, he may get him down again, but he's throwing it all different now.
Clubbing again with the right hand is Wilson.
Fascinating, isn't it, Sam, that the very thing that knocked Williams down, he can't duplicate. Instead, he's throwing these clubbing right hands. He should go back to the hook, which he has better leverage on.
And moving around and trying to survive the round is Jeremy Williams. Blocked that big right hand and got hit with the head. Wilson's head hit him on the side of his own.
And remember, this one will likely be a 2-point round.
Williams trying to survive this round. He's cut on the lip. He's cut over the left eye. He's been down. He's lasted the round. But he is in trouble. And slowly walks back into his corner.
Sit down. You gotta dig down now, Jeremy. You gotta dig down now. You can't just start dancing. dancing around the ring. You can't just start dancing around the ring like that. You can't be stupid and punch like that. You're training with him. You gotta be smart. You're not aggressive at all. You're not being aggressive at all. You gotta use the jab. You gotta use the jab. You're working.
Well, aggression isn't part of what Jeremy Williams was doing in that last round. Here is the straight right hand by Wilson that lands to the head of Jeremy Williams, knocks him down, and that was the last straight one that Wilson threw in the round. Well, a little elbow action too. You know what? If you look at that carefully, I think as much of the forearm and the elbow may have landed as the glove, and that may have had an impact. But it would be very difficult for anyone in quick motion to see that. Only in slow motion would you be able to see.
See the marked up face of Jeremy Williams out for round 6. And a big surprise to this point. Through 5 rounds, more punches thrown by Wilson. The accuracy to Williams. But let's see the effect of that big knockdown in round 5.
And this is the second fight in a row in which Williams has had problems. Against Smith, it ended up being a split decision, and now he's having trouble here. And that's the straight right by Wilson. But Williams did the right thing. He came back with a left hook after it.
Al has Marion Wilson in the lead.
I had it even to that point, so I had to make that last one a 2-point round.
Once again, tape off the glove of Marion Wilson. We're in round 6. It's scheduled for 8. 30-year-old Marion Wilson, who is 6'5" 2 with 3 knockouts, is close to upsetting a good-looking prospect in Jeremy Williams, who is 7-0 with 6 knockouts.
And I want to hasten to point out that if a couple of those rounds that I thought, and even you thought may have gone to Wilson earlier, went to Williams, then Williams may not even be on the short end of the scoring right now, but that 2-point round in round 5 can't help it. And Williams has never gone past 6 rounds, whereas Wilson has. So you would think as this fight goes on, Williams might have more problems than Wilson. Williams threw only 11 jabs in the last round. They want that punch from him. And the reason that punch is so important is because it sets up his power punch.
Early in the fight, as this thing back to the first round especially, and round 2 also, the body shots by Williams were very impressive. I don't think he's thrown a body shot in the last 2-3 rounds.
Not too many. And that posture shows you he's trying to load up with every punch. That is a big problem for Jeremy Williams right now. And of course, he was whacking everybody out with those big punches in the first 5 or 6 fights of his career. It doesn't stay that way.
He had Marion Wilson staggered in the first round, but he couldn't take him out. Wilson survived that round. And a lot of the roughhouse tactics of Wilson have really, I think, upset Jeremy Williams and his style of fighting.
It's tough to deal with that, you know, and that's part of what, as you're coming up, you have to try and deal with it. And I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Jeremy Williams doesn't have a huge frame. He's not a big heavyweight. He can't push Marion Wilson around. So when that happens on the inside, he doesn't have the tools to really deal with it in the same way that some big heavyweight would. You know, he's weighing in at 217.
Williams supporters at ringside urging him to use the jab more. He's throwing a couple. Tries to drop in the right hand. End of round 6. Scheduled 8-round heavyweight bout. Jeremy Williams in the black trunks, Marion Wilson in the blue.
This is a round that Jeremy Williams has never seen before. He's never been past 6.
Jabs through 6. Better percentage for Williams. Thought he started to throw a few more in that 6th round. Once again, there's loose tape on the left glove of Marion Wilson. And I think any moment now, yep, Ben Esteves stops time, and here they go again. Does this benefit either fighter when there's a stoppage?
Well, you know, I think in this case it might benefit Wilson a little bit because it's one more frustration to Jeremy Williams. He's not in his rhythm. And I think for him to even have to wait again and sit and think about what's going on in this bout gives him that much more time to just think about the frustration of what's going on here. That cut you see over the on the brow has been dealt with very nicely in his corner, and it's not bleeding.
You got lean, man.
Wilson's pace has slowed down since that knockdown. Since he knocked Williams down in the 5th. Doing a lot of holding, a lot of grappling, and not throwing many punches. And it looks like he's losing a point for holding.
Well, and that's not an inappropriate move by Benji Estevez. That's not helping the front runner, helping the young prospect. Marion Wilson has held quite a bit in this bout.
He landed a straight right hand. Once again, very similar to the knockdown punch. So as Al pointed out, there was also elbow and shoulder involved in that knockdown.
And if you live by certain tactics, which have helped Marion Wilson, you have to accept what might be a punishment. And this has been a good round for Williams. He has done more work on the inside, punched, gotten out, and Marion has had a hard time landing something offensively. Marion Wilson has never been able to get back to throwing that right hand straight as he did in the one that knocked Williams out. And also, he's not gone back to the left hook, which worked for him for a couple of rounds. Wilson may be a little tired.
He's not throwing any punches out. He's holding. Williams will throw a jab, and Wilson will grab hold. And Ben Estevez has warned him again. Williams got a left hook into the body, and once again, is Wilson holding.
And this will likely be a 2-point round, obviously, because of the point taken away and the fact that Williams is winning the round.
And the referee is talking to Wilson almost every break, warning him about the holding.
You have to wonder if he would take another point away or even disqualify him. I don't think a disqualification is in order, but certainly he is still holding. Now there's the hook. Wilson has not gone back to that point.
Wilson tried to drop in the right hand. It was a little slow. Williams trying to get his hands free, and he bangs the body with the right hand effectively.
You can feel the confidence in Jeremy Williams coming back in this round, and he was helped a little bit by that point deduction.
Wilson trying to crowd Williams, but not doing much offensively. Just trying to tie him up. Williams coming on. We've got 1 round to go. We'll be right back. Will remember this bout, win or lose, marked up in several places, knocked down in the 5th round, but right now trying to keep his undefeated record intact. More punches thrown by Wilson, better accuracy by Williams, and that 2-point round in the last round now may have turned it in his favor.
Yeah, and I had him winning the round before that, so I'm sure that he is now ahead both on my card and I would think on the judges at this juncture.
Good right hand, staggered Wilson. Williams trying to follow up. Wilson ties him up. The best right hand Williams has thrown.
He is throwing his punches with a lot of conviction. And that time he used his head, Jeremy Williams. He said, you're going to do it to me, I'll do it back to you. Oh, we talked about the good heavyweight prospects we've seen next week. Of course, we're going to see guys coming around, Joe Hipp and Kevin Ford. I saw their first match. It's a rematch. Their first match was excellent. A couple other heavyweights I just found out we're going to see.
Oh, wow. Hand by Wilson.
That may have hurt him. Williams fighting back off the ropes. Wilson's still holding, and I wonder how much that right hand did hurt Jeremy Williams. If Wilson did have him hurt, he better go after him now. And you know, we talk about this 8th round. This might be a very pivotal round in terms of scoring. I'm going to mention we're going to see next week also Samson Puha, who's a very good amateur, against a young heavyweight that I think is terrific, Willie Jackson. They're going to be fighting next on April 3rd at the Aladdin in Las Vegas on our toughest card.
Wilson not putting many punches together. Williams has tried, but every time he does, Wilson ties him up. Heads banged together. Williams got in a left hook to the body, missed the right hand.
Williams has gone to the body much more in the last 3 or 4 rounds. This round, Williams probably has an edge, but Wilson has made it a tougher round for him. Well, Marion Wilson came here tonight. He said he was in good shape and he was ready to give Jeremy Williams a battle, and he has, though an unorthodox one. And I think now he's a little tired. So in reality, even though Wilson has gone 8 rounds with more time than Williams, he is the one that looks a little tired right now.
Williams turned to southpaw briefly and landed a couple of punches. Once again, the heads together. Wilson is forced back. Wilson looks very tired right now. Williams banging the body.
Well, your most prophetic comment was that he would remember this bout. I think he will, Jeremy Williams. And I'll tell you, as this bout ends in a very strange posture for Jeremy Williams, what I was just going to say is, because of the nature of boxing, whether it's appropriate or not, this young man has probably gotten himself a win. People are going to question him about being knocked down by Marion Wilson, who is not a puncher. They're going to start to wonder about his chin.
A little later on tonight, live coverage of the Davis Cup. First round action, the United States and Australia. Mark Woodford and David Wheaton. That'll be 1 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Pacific. That's later on tonight or early tomorrow morning Eastern Time, if you will. Cliff Drysdale, Red Stolle, Mary Carrillo, bringing you the action from Melbourne, Australia.
No dream team there for that Davis Cup. They're all busy at the other tournament, right?
That's right. So they're trying to make it through and maybe get the dream team back together a little later on.
See how that goes.
For the fight, more punches thrown by Marion Wilson. The Williams did come on the last couple of rounds, and his accuracy was far greater than Marion Wilson.
Yeah, Williams pulled this fight out, I think, with that rally in the last several rounds, and we'll see how the judges see it.
And I give him a 3-point win. How about you?
I think I'm ahead by two.
Michael Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Harrah's Atlantic City, we go to the scorecards. Joseph Pasquale scores the bout 77-72. John Stewart and Tommy Kazmarek have it 77-73 for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Jeremy Williams.
No argument with the decision, but the margins are only mildly ridiculous.
Jeremy Williams gets banged up, bruised, cut, but comes out a winner. Al will talk with him in just a moment. Atlantic City, Al Bernstein with the winner, Jeremy Williams. Let's go to Al.
Thank you, Sam. Jeremy, he was a very awkward guy to fight. How much was that a problem for you?
It was a problem to a certain extent, but a lot of holding, a lot of headbutt, and that's these cuts on my head from the headbutt.
Right.
But it was tough, and Caden and Rooney and Lott and Cuevas, they want me. I'm the youngest. I'm the new proper. That's new proper heavyweights coming in. And I want everybody to know I'm the one fighting all the big guys, all the hard guys. So all y'all, Larry Downs, David Tuers, and the rest of y'all, I'm not mocking you, but you guys better step up.
All right, well, Marion Wilson knocked you down, though. How will people react to that?
That's an experience of life. I've been knocked down in the amateurs. Now I've been knocked down in the pros. It's no big thing. I got up and handled it. Showed a little bit of poise and a little bit of character.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank
Good
you,
win.
sir. What's up, everybody at home?
Jeremy Williams still talking. He's happy. He got a big win for himself. We'll be back with Ringside Report, so stay with us. A lot to talk about. Take care.